courageous enough to be vulnerable and to be courageous is something that makes us who we are. My dear friends, a very good afternoon to the Toastmasters and dear guests. This is something that I have learned from the quote of Brené Brown, that it's okay to feel multiple emotions at the same time. Now, I will ask you a question, and you have to raise your hand to confirm if it has ever happened with you. That you have a night, terrible night, full of overthinking, and yet in the morning, you dress up, you go to office, you put on a smile, and you work, meet new people, attend meetings like there was nothing wrong last night. All the hands are raised. So it is relatable, and I think it happens with most of us, that whatever happens, whatever goes here in our mind, we do not get enough time to acknowledge and be aware of that, but we keep going in life. Now, my next question is, what makes us human? Any one word, what makes us human?
Compassion.
Compassion. Anyone online? Intelligence. Emotions. Emotions. Wonderful. So what makes us human, according to me, is our ability to feel, and the emotions that we carry makes us human. Now, I'm not here to tell you how to attain emotional intelligence by what's mentioned in the books or articles, but I am here to tell you that you all are, each one of you are already emotionally intelligent beings. Why? Because you all are brave enough to keep going in life, right? And when I realized who I am and what I want to become, back in 2009, I started analyzing the behaviors, the patterns, the habits, and actions of my own self and each and everyone around me. And that's when I realized that I don't want to be the topper of the class. I don't want to be a rank holder in an entrance exam. I don't want to crack IIT and study there. I don't want to be the best dancer of our country, but I just want to understand my own self. I just want to understand the emotions of my loved ones. And at that early age, I knew that I have to just keep going ahead in my life and never stop, no matter what happens. And that's why when I realized that emotions plays a very important role, because what goes in our mind actually comes out in our actions and our everyday life. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is to be aware of our own emotions and those of others, and to discern between different feelings and to label them appropriately. This is emotional intelligence. There are different components of emotional intelligence that includes self-awareness, self-management, empathy, social skills, and it also includes motivation, that we have to be motivated. So these are the different components of emotional intelligence. Now, how I come to know that am I improving in my emotional stamina or not is that just analyze your own self, how you react, how you respond, how you behave. Now, if I talk about 10 years back, when an emotional breakdown happened, I used to take months to be okay, and just to be okay and keep going in my life and keep doing the great things that you are meant to do. And you do not share with people, you do not share it with anybody, you go in a silo. That is how 10 years before my emotional stamina was. But now the emotional stamina is that it just takes me few hours. You know the practices, you know how to meditate, you know what works for you, what not works for you. You know that you are worthy. You know that you are good enough. And then it won't take more than a day, a few hours, or just drinking chai with your best friend and sharing your heart out, and next morning you are back on the track doing the office meetings and being up to your life to make everything great. Now we have to journal our emotions in order to acknowledge them, be aware of them. I started journaling my emotions 5 years back wherein I made sure that I will not release my emotions by anger, I will not release my emotions by fighting. Rather, I made a choice to release my emotions in the form of art. Because emotions are meant to be released. And if emotions are meant to be released, why not we release it in the healthiest manner as possible, as much as possible? We can release it by singing, we can release it by dancing, we can release it by giving a speech, and we can release it by acting or anything that you love to do. But releasing of emotions is really important. That if you have something inside of you, it must go out and you should be back to your peace. And very early, I realized that how I want to see myself. I don't want to see myself crying. I want to see myself confident. I don't want to see myself depressed. I want to see myself dancing. I don't want to see myself shaming. I want to see myself smiling. And that's when I realized that it's all about the choice that we make. I know that my head, my heart, and my soul are in well aligned. They are very well aligned, and no matter what happens externally, will not affect my inner peace. And this is what is emotional intelligence, my dear friends. And what works for me might not work for you. So it's the time to sit with your own self and, first of all, know yourself. Second, to know that you are worthy. Third, to believe in yourself. And fourth, to love yourself. What works for me might not work for you, but if you know that you all are loving yourself, you know yourself, then you'll be unstoppable. And I'm proud to say that no matter what happens, I am unstoppable.